We're here with VW, and it's the new Atlas. Is this a brand new car?
We've introduced the Atlas Cross Sport concept at the New York Auto Show this year. And so it's basically a shorter wheelbase or actually it's the same wheelbase, but a slightly smaller version of our 7-seater Atlas that went into production last year.
And your name is?
Jessica Anderson with the communications team.
Okay. And looking at it, it looks like it's just, you said it's a little bit smaller and it weighs a little bit less?
It's a little bit shorter. The concept itself is about 7 inches shorter than the 7-passenger. And so this will go into production at the end of next year.
And is this the one that had the Dynaudio sound system also?
No, I don't believe so. Dynaudio is in our Arteon that'll be introduced at the end of this year. We actually showed that at the Chicago Auto Show.
Okay.
The Atlas itself has a Fender audio system.
Okay.
So the Cross Sport concept would likely follow that model. The Atlas Cross Sport concept will go into production the end of next year. It'll likely be a 2020 model year vehicle.
I remember the Dynaudio system because I just got through doing the high-end audio show.
Okay.
And Dynaudio is a good high-end audio system. So tell me a little bit about this one then, because this is the one this is 2019. This is what people can buy.
It's similar to our Passat, but a little bit bigger, much bigger back seat, raked kind of coupe profile, and it's called the Volkswagen Arteon, and it'll be a 2019 model. It kind of gives you the step up in exterior styling and luxury features that people would be looking for that, aren't looking for just your average mid-size sedan.
It doesn't look like a big car. It looks smaller. Maybe it's because it's white and all the lights and everything. But okay, so this one, there was no previous model. This is brand new.
This is brand new. It actually is the successor. We call it the spiritual successor to our model, the CC, that went out this year.
Right.
It also had kind of a 4-door coupe look to it.
Yeah.
The styling of this is very similar to our sister brand Audi's A7,
right.
Porsche Panamera. So looking
it's
for
a little
bit
sporty.
more high style.
Yeah.
If you're looking at
what
this
about
car.
the horsepower and all of that?
It's got a 2-liter turbocharged engine, which I believe is 276 horsepower.
Okay. Yeah. So, and the sunroof has a sunroof on it?
Yep.
Okay. That's not retractable, though, is it?
Yes.
Oh, it is a retractable sunroof. Okay, nice. Oh, why don't you tell me about the Jetta?
Sure.
And I'll get back to lunch.
All new for 2019, and it grows in almost every direction this year. So it's got a longer wheelbase than the outgoing model, which gives you more interior space. It's now based on our MQB platform, which gives you really a lot of flexibility in how you package the car so that it's able to be small, like a really good compact package in that you've got a lot of interior space for a relatively small car.
Okay, yeah, I guess this is a lot smaller. It must be the lights. It doesn't look a lot smaller than that.
Honestly, the Jetta grows
It's
good deal this year.
Me, yeah.
It's more similar.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
size
I know.
To the Passat
I've had a
now.
Jetta. Did I have a Jetta? I had a Jetta or a Golf. I did have a Jetta myself and some friends. But yeah, it's like the kids coming out of college kind of a car.
Yeah.
I don't know. And is it still that market, or is it because it looks a little more stylish, a little more
an
high end
level car for us?
Yeah.
So it's going to compete with the Toyota Corolla and the Honda Civic.
Right.
So it's definitely still that demographic, but it's so much bigger now and encompasses so many more.
Yeah, it looks almost like it's a family car. It looks like it could be a family car actually. So it's more of a family car than it was before.
It can go a lot of different directions now.
Right. What's the price?
The price starts at $18,545.
Oh, okay. It's under $20,000.
Yep.
And what about the one over here, the one we just talked about? What did you call it? The Arteon. It's kind of a hard name to remember. Where did it come from, Arteon?
Well, we at the Volkswagen family have had a good number of models that have kind of Eon as the end.
Oh, okay.
And the whole idea
Star Trek
was
fans
that
or something?
this was art in motion, art for your everyday life. So
Oh, okay. So that's where they came up with the name.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And
what's the
car
price?
Starts at about $35,000.
Okay, so that's 35. So that's like the regular
It's just
kind of
like
car
a
price. This is the entry
short
car price.
step above, the Passat pricing, which is generally in the 25 to 30 range.
Okay.
You get up to a little bit more.
Well, the details in it make it seem like it's a little bit higher end.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's great. I'll let you get back to what lunch you were having and everything else. And these are available now if they want to go look at them.
The Jetta will be in dealerships starting in May.
Okay.
And Arteon will be in dealerships probably later on this fall.
Right. Thanks a lot again.
Awesome.
Okay,
Have a good one.
bye-bye.
You're listening to the UnCommonCore podcast with your host Thomas Howell.
Okay, so we're here at the Nissan show, and I think the best award for best presentation would have to go to the Altima and Nissan. You guys are the first ones, and I've talked to a bunch of other people in the press, and you had the best show. But you had robotic arms, and you had holographic images, and it was fantastic to see. But this is a podcast, so no one could see it. But that was a great show. You must have put a lot of work into that. I mean, it looked expensive. And it was very impressive. And so it must be a big deal having this new model come out. What's so special about the new Altima?
So this is an all-new model. It's the 6th generation of Altima.
Okay.
It'll come out later this year. So this is the first time that anybody has seen it. It's the reveal. It's a completely new car from the ground up. A few key points that we want to emphasize that are going to come out on the car is we have new powertrains, specifically our Vario compression turbo engine. We're adding our ProPilot Assist, which is our semi-autonomous drive technology that's on our Rogue and Leaf already. And we're adding all-wheel drive to the car, which is a first for all of our Nissan sedans.
Oh, all-wheel drive.
Yes.
Interesting.
So that's kind of the big thing, especially up here for the Northeast.
Can you explain all the compression, the variable compression, what that's going to do for the car?
Sure.
You don't have that on. You have that on your other cars?
Not on any Nissans, no.
Okay.
Infiniti QX50 will have it, and Nissan right now, the Altima, are the first two cars in the portfolio that have it. So the variable compression turbo engine, the benefit for the customer is that you're going to get the performance of a V6, that torque, feel, and everything like that confidence when you pass somebody on the highway. But you will not have to sacrifice the fuel economy. So you'll get 4-cylinder like fuel economy.
And you hit a button, or
No,
that's
it's
automatic? That's
It's
all automatic.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, and you said there's a couple of other gizmos like the satellite or the intelligent. What was that?
So we have a new what we call infotainment system.
Okay.
And what we did is we standardized CarPlay and Android Auto. And if you look in our segment, that's a first. No one has it standard. Our competitors do apply it, but it's not standard. From the base grade all the way up, you'll have CarPlay and Android Auto. We have 4 USB ports, so essentially one per seat essentially. And we also have USB Type-C. Most people aren't familiar with that. It's a new protocol that most phones are starting to go to. I like to give the example. If you have a brand new MacBook, you'll be able to charge it in your car essentially because the MacBook only has a USB Type-C.
Yeah, the USB-C is I'm using it on this actually.
Yes.
It's the new way of going. I guess it's better. It's need a good cable for it though. I discovered.
Yeah.
Actually,
so to do the high-speed charging. There's a higher data transfers and things like that. Exactly.
Now, what about the interior, real quick? Anything fancy about the stereo system or the seats or anything like that?
So we still have our zero gravity seats, but just like the exterior, it's a completely new interior from the inside. So the dash is lower, it's a lot thinner, so you have better visibility. We reinforced the bolsters on the side, so it gives you a little bit more support when you're driving the car.
Oh, right.
If you like to drive it a little aggressively, that's going to help as well.
Like the racing seats have,
not
that much.
Yeah,
probably,
right.
But that's the concept.
That's the concept, correct.
Right. Interesting. What was the idea behind it? If you know, I don't know. You had your main guy out the other day.
Alfonso.
Yeah. What was the concept in the redesign? Was it to reach a different audience or just to upgrade the car?
No, so like I said, this is the 6th generation of the car, and what we do is we identify, who we want the customer to be. And so it starts that way. And,
Oh, really?
And it just kind of developed
Okay.
into this right here. So this is a new language for us. It's from exterior design. So most of the sedans are going to be going in this direction. And so it's just part of what we call
Yeah,
our
it looks
expressive design. So
Looks a little Jaguar-y from the front, a classic Jaguar-y.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right, well, appreciate it. What's your name again?
Frank Fuentes.
Frank Fuentes.
Yeah.
And great, thanks a lot. Thanks
you.
for your time. You're listening to the UnCommonCore podcast. If you'd like to help, you can do it directly by being a patron at www.patreon.com/UCC podcast. That's patreon.com/UCC podcast. Or you can buy some merchandise at hugthepug.com. That's www.hugthepug.com. Alternatively, you can advertise at advertisecast.com/1306. That's advertisecast.com/1306. If you missed any of that, you can find it on our webpage at www.uncommoncorepodcast.com or www.uccpodcast.com. Don't forget our YouTube channel at uncommoncorevideo.com, where you can see playlists from the people we interviewed in each episode. And now, without further ado, here's more from the New York Auto Show with special guest Conrad Bradford. Okay, now, real quick, when I was looking through the things, I didn't see anything new coming up from Toyota, but I probably missed it. What's new?
You just missed it. Yeah. So what's exciting about this New York show is we just unveiled two different vehicles. One of them is the best-selling non-pickup in the country. That is the Toyota RAV4. So the
Right.
RAV4 is America's favorite SUV. We sold over 400,000 last year, and the fifth generation of the RAV4 is here for everybody to see. We just unveiled it 2 days ago. So that's good news and exciting news for us.
What's new about the RAV4? Because the RAV4's been around since,
Yeah. So the RAV4's been around
the
since
wheel.
1994, exactly. We invented the small SUV segment, in fact. And so what's new about it, when you look at the vehicle, it's the fifth generation. So it's a complete body redesign, looks very different. It's a little more bold, aggressive, and it follows through with how the vehicle behaves because it's now a little more off-road capable. There's multi-terrain select. It's a more robust four-wheel drive system with dynamic torque vectoring, all-wheel drive. It also features safety features because we know it's a family vehicle often, and it is an extremely safe vehicle featuring standard, no extra cost, Toyota Safety Sense 2.0. This includes things like pre-collision system with pedestrian detection and in certain cases bicycle detection. It includes automatic high beams. It includes lane departure alert with steering assist, lane trace assist, and it'll even start to read certain road signs and alert the driver, hey, do you see that stop sign? Do you see the speed limit sign? Do you see the do not enter sign?
Quick question.
Yeah.
When it goes off-road, does that automatic? Does it detect it, or do you hit a little button?
Yeah, great question. So it depends on which trim level you get, but there's all of them feature, if you get the all-wheel drive version, all of them feature full-time all-wheel drive, so you don't have to think about it. It's always there for you. And then there are certain versions, the limited and the adventure version, that actually have something called multi-terrain select. So when you go off-road, you can tell the vehicle, I'm in rocks, I'm in sand, I'm in mud, depending on how much wheel spin you want the vehicle to allow you to do.
Do you still have the low gear that you can, or you have that instead?
That's kind of instead. There is a
replaces
lower
it,
gear
right.
you can lock it into, but it's
that
really
does
all
the
about.
job.
Yeah, that does the job. Yeah.
Quick question. All those off-terrain surfaces are great. How does it handle in snow?
Yeah, great. So, we're here in the Northeast. It's all about ice and snow. And since 94, with the full-time all-wheel drive system, it's extremely capable in those situations. People buy the car because it's all about, they want to get where they want to go, when they want to go there. And so it provides that kind of capability.
with Maria
time.
Rodriguez, and she's representing the brand Jaguar and Land Rover. And we're here today to ask a few questions. Tom, you had some questions for Maria?
Yeah, but is this is a new design or a whole new car?
So it's kind of a mix. It's hard to answer that
Okay.
specifically. So we did have a sport brake that we offered globally, but we never brought that over to the US. Now in the second generation of the XF, we're in the second generation of this vehicle, we've decided this is the perfect opportunity to bring this wagon to the US. So this car from the front, it's just the second generation XF. The only thing that was changed is the rear portion of it to make it into a wagon essentially.
Yeah, it looks like an old-fashioned but modernized station wagon kind of style, which they never did. They went the auto industry kind of went into the truck thing.
Yep.
And this looks more like an old station wagon because
Yeah.
it's got the small hood and
Well,
it's got
that's
more
exactly
space
what
in the
it
back.
is.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
exactly what it is. It's a wagon.
Right.
We use the word sport brake. That's just another way of saying it, but yeah.
That you spin on an old subject.
Exactly, like a shooting brake. Same kind of situation, so yeah.
But it's styled and high-end, motor. I mean, there's the specs are all.
Yeah, it is based off of the XFS. So the highest trim that we offer on the sedan, we
Right.
based this vehicle on. So it has a V6 engine, offers 380 horsepower. It's very powerful, yes.
Yeah, and one of the things I noticed about it was the sound system. What kind of a sound system you have in there?
So it is a Meridian system. So
That's
we use
right, I was
Meridian.
thinking of it, yeah.
We use Meridian on all of our products. So it's offered
How
on
long
this
you been doing
vehicle.
that?
Meridian, to be honest, I don't remember.
Yeah,
off
Meridian.
The top
We
of
just
my
did the
head.
high-end audio show. Meridian's one of the oldest
we've been with
companies
them
around.
for a very long time. I just off the top can't remember exactly.
Yeah,
how
they
many
started
years.
out years ago. I mean, they're like a 40-year-old company, and they've one of the high-end companies are really good
Yeah.
with digital.
Yeah.
So that comes standard with it, though.
Yes, Meridian
Wow.
is a standard audio system. Mhm.
And how many speakers are we looking at?
You guys are asking me all the tough questions today. You're asking me all the stuff that I can't always remember. Each
Well,
car has different number of
Generally, what they
speakers,
do
so-
is they hand it over to the guys if it's a name
Yes.
brand like that.
Yep.
And they engineer it, yeah.
Yeah, and they engineer the whole
To the
thing.
car,
so
yeah.
They might not like put this. They might put a whole bunch of different kinds of speakers in there, or maybe it just depends on what kind of stuff. Usually, Meridian is digital.
Yes.
So he's really into the powered speakers
Yep.
with the home audio system. So he might not have so many or the configuration, but they're really
it
good.
depends on the system that's in the vehicle. Actually, we have
Yeah.
some systems that have eight speakers, 10 speakers, so
Yeah.
it's 24 speakers.
Depends
so
on
it
the
depends on the
configuration of
level.
the interior
yeah,
of the car,
it depends on the
sure.
level of the car. So I just for this one, I don't off the
Right.
top remember.
And anything else about the Sportback you wanted to mention? You have a little notebook thing
I
there.
do.
Go
I'm
ahead.
trying to remember like what's the big one that I do.
You
want
came
to-
prepared today, I see.
did come prepared. No, so something that's really cool on the Sport Break, and we offer it on a few other cars, is our activity key. I don't know if you've seen it before. It looks kind of like a Fitbit, like a rubber bracelet. And what it allows you to do is take the keys, leave them inside the car, and you can lock the car with that bracelet. It's completely waterproof. It doesn't need to be charged. So it's perfect for people who are active lifestyle. So you're running, you're swimming, you don't have to carry your keys in your pocket. So again, just emphasizing that this vehicle is like a utility vehicle. You can
Right.
have stuff in here. You can put your skis, and you can bring your bikes, and you can bring the kids, and.
But it
it's-
doesn't
yeah.
have anything like four-wheel drive or any of the
It's all-wheel
off-roading
drive.
It is all-wheel
It's
drive.
all-wheel drive.
Okay.
Yes, and it has a air suspension in the rear, so it's self-leveling. So if you put weight in the back, it'll level itself to make sure that it always gives this beautiful Jaguar stance.
Yeah, so a lot of the cars are doing the all-wheel drive this year.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Now, a question concerning the idea of putting a roof rack on. I would imagine it's a custom roof rack. Am I right? Or is it there? Or
No,
this could.
so you can see the roof rails on this vehicle right here, these two black rails. So you can get a Thule rack if you want. We offer our own racks as well. You know, you can get those. So it's fully compatible with everything that's out there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious. I've only seen it on a few cars, but does Jaguar have any car with a solar paneled roof?
No, we do not have solar panel roofs as of yet. When we introduced the iPace, our electric car, when we had the concept, it did have a solar panel roof. We didn't feel that that was the vehicle that we wanted to bring that technology out with. So it is in the works.
Right.
We just don't have it on any of our
Right.
cars yet.
One other quick question, then we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Last year I came and I did a little thing on roadsters, and so
Yeah.
I talked to some people, or I talked to somebody about the Roadster Jaguar.
Yep.
Anything this year that's new with it? I think
Yeah. So the
yeah.
F-Type SVR, we've had it in the lineup since 2014. Started off with a convertible, and every year since we've kind of expanded the lineup. So we offer a 4-cylinder engine, we offer a V6, we offer a V6 manual, we offer rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and all different powertrains, V6s, V8s. So this one that we have here is the F-Type SVR. So it's the top of the line vehicle, top speed of 200 miles per hour. And that just has the special SVR treatment, just like the F-Pace that we spoke about yesterday.
Yeah, and I guess the one I talked about was the mid-level one with the convertible.
Yeah, probably a V6. Yeah.
Yeah.
V6 convertible.
No, a mid-level, what price range are we talking about?
So this car ranges, you can get into one of these at 60 all the way up to 125, starting, obviously.
That's the
and
Roadster.
that's this one.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
about the one we talked about here? Did
Yep.
we get a price on it?
Right in the 60s, yeah. Just
Same.
under 70, yeah.
Okay, great.
Nice
Yeah.
pricing.
Yeah, we try to make sure that our products are appealing to a vast majority of people. Yeah. A car for every price point.
Right. Okay, cool.
Great.
Thanks
Maria,
a lot.
Always a pleasure.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
You're fine.
Okay, well, I'm with Joy Alcaro, and she's with Volvo. And Volvo has a niche market that we're going to talk about. It's with the cross-country SUV.
Yes, so as part of one of our displays here at the auto show, we have a V90 cross country, and we are showcasing some of our pet accessories. We're trying to bring awareness for pet safety, and we are one of the only manufacturers that actually has pet accessories that are specifically meant to save your pets and also to help the drivers in case of a collision. We don't want the animal to be loose in the car flying around, so this will contain them and restrain them. So we're showcasing a protective grille. That's one piece of it. So if you have a large dog, you just need and you want just a protective grille so that it doesn't come into the other compartments, that's great. But also if you have a smaller dog or a medium-sized dog, you might want to put a compartment divider in there. That divider will keep your dog on one side or your pet on one side and your luggage and or sporting goods on the other side.
Okay, let me pause you for just a second, because this is a podcast. They can't see what
Right,
we're talking about.
right.
So what we're doing is, what model are we looking at? What's your name again?
Joy.
Joy.
Yes.
Okay. And what model are we looking at?
So it's the V90 cross country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this the first time you've done that with the?
No, we actually have had these accessories for almost 20 years.
Oh.
Really?
Yes, so these have been out for 20 years. They've all been tested in Europe, in Sweden, and they are all made out of steel. So there's 3 pieces to it. It's a protective grille, a compartment divider, and then an actual dog gate. The dog gate is so that when you open up your cargo area, the dog doesn't come out of the trunk, the cargo space and run into the street or run after another animal at the park. It's contained in there. It's got a lock. And it opens up so you can take your pet out safely.
Is this the only model that you have that fits in?
No. So this is the V90 cross country that we're looking at today,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but we also have this available for the XC90,
Okay.
which is our larger SUV. For the XC60, which just won World's Car of the Year yesterday here at the show.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Yes, very proud of that. We have just a protective grille, so that's just a divider for the cargo space to your rear seat, and that is also the same for our XC40. So we don't have the 3 pieces for the XC60 and the XC40, but we do have the protective grille. We also have dog harnesses.
Yeah,
that we
because
have-
do you just stick them in the? Okay, so what it is for the people listening, it's a cage, right?
Right,
It's
it's
called,
a cage.
Is it called a cage?
Yeah, it's a dog gate.
Okay.
And it's a cage, yeah.
And is it made by Volvo, or
Yes,
is it made by
is.
some other company?
No, it's not an aftermarket. It
Oh.
is made by Volvo.
It fits
It's
perfectly.
labeled. Yeah, it has a Volvo logos on it. It is tested.
So you
and
have a
secure.
restrainer also that
Well,
keeps them.
that's the harness. I mean,
Harness?
that's any dog you can see. They walk around with the harness. So our harnesses are meant to hook up to the back seat. So if you have a sedan, obviously you don't have a cargo area. You're going to put the harness on and hook it up to the seat belt in the back.
Okay.
That, when you get to where you're going, you can actually take the dog out and that turns into a leash. So it's the harness with the leash. And we have them in 4 sizes because dogs come in different sizes. So we have small all the way to extra large.
So it's a regular leash.
It's a harness.
Oh, it's a
So it goes on their
harness.
bodies.
Right,
It's a
right, right.
harness that goes on their bodies. And it has a leash and a tether strap that will go onto the back seat
Right.
belt.
And it's bad for them to have the.
Yeah,
around the
no,
neck.
they can move
So
around
the
with this
is
harness.
what
They can
all
still
the
move
good
around.
dogs in New York wear the.
Correct. And believe it or not, most Northeast states, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, all of your East Coast states other than New York, there's an actual law that you have to have your dog restrained in your car, that it should not be loose. No, don't drive around with it on your lap. You know, it's a projectile. God forbid you're in a collision. You know, you can get hurt and so can your animal.
I have a question, Joy. This looks like a great idea. However, what precautions do you suggest owners should be aware of with this contraption?
Okay, the only thing I can tell you is that if you have a protective grille and you have a folding rear seat, you may need to take out the protective grille to fold down the seat, except for the brand new XC40. That has a protective grille that's bolted on the top, but it actually will release, so it folds up. These do not fold up.
My concern is that if I had my dog in the trunk and I decided I'm going to stop at the supermarket and I'm going to leave my dog in that car.
Never.
That's what I'm pointing out.
Yeah.
So there seems to be no cracked windows at the back.
Right.
Those little partitions do not open.
Right.
There's no special ventilation. So that is not something you would recommend an owner should do.
No, because it doesn't matter whether it's in the cargo area, the front seat, the back seat. A dog should never be left alone in a car. Would you leave your child in a car? No. It's the same thing for your pets. They breathe just air just like we do. Their body temperature rises. So
Yeah,
no,
the
you should
old
never.
days, people used to leave their dogs in the car and crack the window,
Yeah.
but they've been all those famous stories, and now,
Yeah.
you know, and the kids, yeah. So I think it's, there's
We used-
laws, there may be laws, right?
Yes, of course there is laws.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, you used to put a child in the back seat without a seatbelt on. Now we all get seatbelted.
Yeah,
you know,
last
We-
like 10 years, I guess, right? Probably,
More, yeah.
15, yeah.
Now, what has the response been to this adaptation? Of course, it's an accessory, so you can buy the car without it. But it's something that's bolted in, so it can be removed quite easily.
Yes, it's very easy to install and uninstall. Yes. You can order them directly through our dealers because they are a Volvo item. They're not aftermarket. You can go to your Volvo dealer and order them, or you can order them online with our Volvo e-commerce site. You can have it delivered to your home, or you can have it delivered to the dealer. You can, have either.
Now, this particular model,
Yes, the V90 Cross Country.
I'm talking about the actual, the
Okay,
smaller
the whole
the
gate,
case.
yeah.
Up to what size dog should we be thinking of for that?
I'm thinking about 60 pounds because it's not that large of a compartment. If you have a larger dog, great. Just do the protective grille. Don't worry about the compartment divider and the gate,
Right.
the dog gate.
Well, this it's great. I mean, there was just a story. I mean, this is going to go out in a couple months, but with the lady who had her dog stuck in the
United,
Air
yeah.
Cargo, and Congress
Yeah.
passed a law to prevent them from doing that.
Sure.
Yeah,
And that's the same
so
thing. A lot of
people are very
people don't want to
sensitive to
fly
this now.
anymore now. They want to drive everywhere. And if you're going to talk about safety, this is a great thing.
Right.
Less trauma for the animal.
Yeah. And also, just another quick little plug.
Yeah.
Every pet accessory sold, Volvo is donating $10 to the Pet Finder Foundation, which is our new partner, and they're a nonprofit organization.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Fantastic.
great.
It's nice to see that they're giving something back. Well, Volvo's always been involved in safety, and I guess this is another element of safety.
Volvo goes back a long ways too, doesn't it? I think I was mentioning the other day, Volvo has started back as a high-end car.
we were the company that created the 3-point seatbelt and then patented it, but we gave all the patents to every car company because
Yeah.
we want everybody to be safe no matter what they're driving.
No, I'm
Right.
curious now. You've got this lovely additional storage on the roof.
Yep, that's a cargo box.
What was it designed to do?
Okay, so this is actually a limited edition that you're looking at. Right now we're looking at a white one, and we don't make them in white. This is specific to this car, which is made for the Volvo Ocean Race. So our cargo boxes, we have all different types of cargo boxes. Some that are expandable, some that are hard cased, and some that are soft. And they're meant to, if you're going camping, if you're going surfing, skiing,
Yeah.
and you have all this luggage and all this extra stuff. It's perfect for storage. And again, made by Volvo, made for Volvos.
Now, I've always looked at these, and I've always said to myself, you put your personal possessions in there, your valuables.
Yes.
Can I remove that without you being, in other words, can somebody steal the damn thing?
No, of course not. I mean, it's got locks on there, and those are, I mean, there's actual load bars that lock. So those are locked in place, and your cargo box has a lock on it. So unless somebody's going to break into it, just like they would break into your car or break
Probably
into your
safer
home.
on the top than inside, right?
So people's going to see it. If they
Yeah.
see somebody with a crowbar.
When you say lock, we're talking about a key system.
Yes, locked.
Gotcha,
with a
okay.
key. Yep, everything's...
That's great. I don't have any more questions. I think you have a nice setup here. You have like these
Thank you.
stuffed dogs in there. And
Yes.
you got really,
Again,
and you have
we're-
dogs walking around.
Yes, we're doing adoption day today and tomorrow.
Oh.
Yes.
These guys
Yeah.
are up for adoption.
Yeah, they're all rescues. So we're, like
Oh.
I said, we're working
Well,
for.
That's great.
Thank you
What's
very
the name
much.
of the organization again? The
It's the Pet Finder Foundation.
Pet Finder Foundation.
Yes.
Great. And do you know their webpage? Pet Finder. I'll find it. but-
Petfinder.com.
Okay. And your name
Petfinder.com.
again? Joy?
My name is Joy Alcaro.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much, Joy.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Thanks.
Enjoy the show.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
So today I'm with Michael at Lexus, the one of the luxury brands here at the show. I'm Conrad Bradford with UnCommonCore podcast.
Michael
Michael.
Rippey with Lexus. How are you? I'm a product
Michael what?
specialist and presenter.
Michael what?
Rippey.
Michael Rippey. Okay, so now we basically were just wanting an overview because I'm not too
Yes.
sure what Lexus has for new for 2018.
Well, perfect. Thanks for joining us, gentlemen. So, yeah, as you see, we're here at the New York International Auto Show at the Lexus display. We actually have two displays going on. So this is the upstairs level where we show off our sedans and our coupes and our cars. This is our major display. What we have new for 2018 at the show is our LC500 in structural blue.
Wow.
So we released this model over the summer last year here at the display. It was not out. It is now out, but we have a special version of the vehicle, which actually shows you a vehicle that has no blue pigmentation in that paint. even
Yeah, it
though
was
it's
just when
structural
I
blue.
said wow, it's because the blue is like a blue that's digging. It's like a clipping blue.
Yeah, it's
like-
sharp.
In videos are
Great.
great.
There's no pigmentation in that paint.
Our engineers took 15 years to create this, and it's just the way that the light actually hits it that creates the blue that you see.
Yeah, it's
It's modeled
different.
after a morpho butterfly, and
A
it is
what kind of butterfly?
A morpho.
Oh, I thought you said a mofo butterfly.
No, morpho.
Oh.
Maybe it's morpho. And so this is our luxury coupe. It's only 100 made in this exact version, so we're showing it off here in New York. And we're also showing off a standard version infrared color, which now the guests and consumers at the show can actually get into, which they were not able to do last year
Is
at
it
the
the
show.
same technology that makes a color?
It is
That one's
not. That's a
different.
special
Let's
version.
walk closer to that, Conrad, just while we're doing it, because
And
I
as
like
you walk, the way that the light is hitting it will give it a different appearance of blue. You can see on the roof, the hood. It's different from different angles for the blue.
it. Yeah, it's got shading.
There's an iridescence there.
Yeah, it's just totally different, and they got that off of the butterfly wing, which is how we see the color of the butterfly wings, right?
Correct. So additionally,
little-
on the LC500,
Yeah.
separate of that, we're showing off our 10th anniversary versions, which are special editions of the GSF and also our RCF. And we have them in matte nebula gray pearl colors, which is something that Lexus doesn't frequently do, to make a matte finish. So there's limited edition, and those are special 10th anniversary editions. Each of those vehicles come with a couple extra accessories and details that are significant to those models that show you your differentiation.
Now I'm curious, what is this particular vehicle going for?
There's no pricing yet on the actual RCF 10th anniversary. Now, the RCF is out. It runs about $64,000 with the performance engine. The 10th anniversary version, because it's not out yet, has not been priced.
But there will be more.
It'll be a little bit more.
What's the general price area of it? The cars they're replacing, are they brand new? Or are they replacing something
So
else?
one thing that we're replacing, I was going to be my next thing,
Yeah.
is the CT. We used to have a CT, which we make in other countries.
Okay.
In America, is no longer being produced. That's being replaced now with what we've just unveiled here in New York. So the consumers in New York will get their first chance to see it. It's the UX for North America. It's in the back. It's going to be our smallest SUV,
Okay.
177 inches, and it fits in the line under our NX and RX, the top-selling luxury crossover 20 years running. So the UX we're debuting here. It already debuted globally in Geneva a month ago, but now here in North America it debuts right here in New York, and that's on the platform, our UX 200. That'll start, hasn't been priced yet, but you're looking at somewhere under the range of an NX.
Right. Now, just to review a little bit.
Let's do it.
So the model numbers here are the LC500, and the price on that would be
LC500 starting at $92,000.
Okay.
And also, fun fact just to add in, if anybody's seen the Black Panther movie, the vehicle that's in the Black Panther movie is the model LC500.
Okay, and the this one over here that you said you had the matte finish,
That's
which
the
is
RCF.
also pretty cool. It looks like somebody did it themselves, though. Kind of looks like people used to do that. I mean, customize it,
Right.
custom stuff, paint shops.
It's
like
becoming a
that kind of
trend.
thing.
In fact, as you walk around the show, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of these matte finishes at all the brands.
Yeah.
So this is Lexus's rendition.
Okay, cool. And these are similarly priced?
Yeah, I mean, as a standard RCF, it'll be similar price, but at 10th anniversary, you got to imagine there'll be a couple extra pricing adjustments.
Right.
Now I'm curious, which of these cars is your solid seller, leading the pack?
So as I said, the top seller, great question, the RX 350. It's the top selling luxury crossover, and it's 20 years running that it's been the top selling luxury crossover. You got to understand, here in North America, SUVs are the ones that sell the most, and that keeps continuing to be something that's a trend. And so not only is the RX our top seller, we're also selling a lot of the NX, which is a smaller sized SUV. And that's why our introduction of the UX is important.
I was going to say, yeah, it's a little almost counterintuitive because it seems like people are going towards electric and then they're going towards these trucks, and the trucks get going to be electric or get good gas mileage or anything like that in the future, or as a hybrid or anything like that?
You're right, and it definitely depends where you are as far as size and space and vehicle technologies, but I think here in North America you're seeing a trend towards the people wanting space. They do want hybrids and electrics, but space in the vehicles, as well as when gas prices are not as expensive. People want that space. They got a family,
Right.
They got extra kids on the way, they got to take them to practice. They like the idea of having space in their vehicles, and I think that's been a trend across the industry for a little bit here, especially for Lexus. That's why we've added the UX to the profile. As far as electric options,
Yeah, what's
we don't
your electric
offer electric
deal?
options at Lexus currently.
Okay.
We do offer a variety of hybrids. You can get the hybrid version of our new UX, which will
The
be out in
hybrid
December
does
as
what?
well.
It just it's
Get you better gas mileage.
okay.
you
So
have
is it
electric
like the
motors.
first
First
first a few miles, or is it the first miles per hour, or
So
how does it work?
it's
with
actually
that?
got electric motors paired with your gas engine.
Uh-huh.
So when you're decelerating or you're stopped, idling, it's a multi-stage hybrid system that will kick in and help you conserve some of that fuel, so that you're getting
Right,
better
so it's
fuel
at lower
economy.
miles per hour and stuff like that. That's when the electric goes in. It's a little confusing because
Mm-hmm.
as the industry and electric vehicles become more popular, each manufacturer is taking their own spin on it, and it
That's
gets a little
right.
bit confusing because they all use the same terminology.
That's right. It's almost
Yeah.
like a transition phase that we're
Yeah.
in. But Lexus has made it a point by 2025 to have an electric or hybrid version of every single vehicle here.
It's fine. It's fine. They could kick back and see what works. And then once they figure out, there's two different approaches. Once they figure out what works, they could go with that. Real quick, last question
Yes.
for you. There's kind of like the Altima and the Nissan,
It's luxury
but they were
division.
going for a lot of technology, a lot of gadgetry. Do you guys have anything along those lines for the interior of the car?
Yeah, so-
or for the location systems or the audio system or anything like that?
Lexus has used an internal navigation system and technologies for a while. We are branching out, moving forward. We've listened to consumers and what they've asked for. In our brand new UX that we're debuting here in North America in New York, that vehicle will actually come with the technological capabilities such as Amazon Alexa, Apple CarPlay inside the vehicle. So you'll now be able to connect, and technology is important, obviously, at Lexus too. So we're moving forward with those additions to our vehicles.
Okay, so that's all the, like you say, the Apple Play and all that
Apple
stuff.
CarPlay, which is huge, and Amazon Alexa now is coming up. That will be part of it. And so that will start in our UX, and you should plan to start seeing that along the future lines of our vehicles.
Just one more. This might be a silly question, but because I was just talking to the Nissan guy, sometimes what they were doing is they were bringing their, and maybe Infiniti might be doing it too, they were bringing their high-end into their lower-end stuff, you know what I mean? The Infiniti was bringing it into their lower-end stuff. And so, I mean, do you guys do the same thing?
Yeah, so this is what I would say.
Or is it the other way around?
Well, I don't like to say higher-end, lower-end. I think all of our vehicles are higher-end.
Right.
They're just created for different individuals and different scenarios. So all of the vehicles have high-end technology, but I understand what you're saying. Some of our most advanced technologies.
Yeah, like the alternating compression, I think, is the one of the thing that they're talking about, the Nissan.
Some of the most advanced safety features, for example, or other details that we put into some of our vehicles they do spread across the lineup.
Okay.
Sometimes they start with our luxury sedan. The LS500 has the most advanced safety system features we've ever offered, and those will come to the others. But the same way, sometimes we'll offer, like the new UX is going to be the first vehicle to have the Apple CarPlay, and we'll bring that across the line. So it doesn't always start with the top of the line, lower end.
Okay.
It'll be across the
depends.
line. It just depends. Timing is everything.
Right. Okay.
I'm curious, from a marketing standpoint, how big a deal is it to get your car into a top movie? And I'm sure it costed quite a pretty penny to do that. That was a product placement.
So I can't say exactly what the cost would be. That's not my department. We do collaborations with a lot of different agencies, campaigns that make sense for Lexus. A lot of sponsoring of sporting events, cultural, food. We like to just be out in the community. As far as pricing, I can't say.
But I guess the real question is, how big a push does that movie give a car like this?
Well, I guess we'd have to see it.
Find out tomorrow. I guess,
Yeah,
when the public comes out.
We'll find out. I'll tell you what, though. So far, since the movie's come out, there's been running spots on TV as well, and I've gotten consistent feedback. Is that the vehicle from the Black Panther? So it's definitely helping to brand the awareness factor. But I think it's beneficial for both.
Yeah,
Lexus
but you didn't
and
do a
Black
big
Panther.
tie-in like the Demon or anything like that.
It wasn't as aggressive, I think, as some
Yeah.
others. I think we try to lay back a little bit with our
Yeah.
advertising, but it was in the movie. We do have some commercials, and we just try to do product placement that makes sense for everyone involved.
Right. That gets a little obnoxious after a while anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a pretty good gamble because just like Aston Martin, who dominates the 007 franchise, I think that the Panther franchise is going to be really good for you guys.
Well, I mean, listen, the movie's done really well, so that can only
Yeah.
help to benefit Lexus and Marvel.
Thanks
Great
a
talking
lot.
to you, Michael. Enjoy the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm at Bradford with the UnCommonCore podcast. I'm with Michael Cotter.
Brian Cotter.
Brian Cotter at Mercedes-Benz. And I'm also with?
Catherine Gebhardt with Mercedes-Benz.
Great. No, I think Brian is a specialist in the AMG category. So let's start off with that high-end line.
Sure. At the New York Auto Show this year, we have several new vehicles. We have the facelifted C63 sedan. We have a facelifted C63 coupe. We also have an all-new AMG GT four-door coupe, which is our probably main highlight at the show. And for the first time at a U.S. Auto Show, we have the new G63, which is our ultimate SUV in our product portfolio.
Everybody seems to have an SUV, and they seem to be the biggest growth segment in the auto industry. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, currently the SUV segment is the fastest growing segment, and it's also the segment that we're expanding into, like I would say, the quickest. So.
Now, quick question for you. How many SUVs does Mercedes have out on the show floor today?
On the show floor today, we have GLC, both in our high performance variant and our plug-in hybrid. Like Brian mentioned, we have the G63, which is our traditional iconic off-roadster. And then we have a GLE 550E plug-in hybrid. So we have a mix of high performance SUVs, plug-in hybrid SUVs. So really a great variety.
Well, because I'm seeing so many different styles on the road today. It's like before I could spot the Mercedes, but now they're kind of morphing into many different shapes.
Yeah, well, that's what's really cool about the G63 actually, is the boxy design. The G-Class has stayed true to its heritage over 40 years. So it's all new on the inside, but when you look at that car, it actually retains its heritage when you look at it from the exterior. So in some ways, yes, cars are morphing, they're changing, but the G-Class is a really great example of something that is staying true to itself over time.
Now, Brian, maybe you can answer to this. There's another after manufacturer out there called Brauhaus, is it?
Sorry. what?
Brauhaus?
I have no idea.
Really?
That's German for brewery. I know that.
Brauhaus.
I saw one of your cars tricked out, and it was definitely not AMG.
Maybe
Could it be Brabus?
Brabus, yes.
Yeah, it's an aftermarket company. We have a loose relationship with them in the U.S., mainly for our Smart lineup. They do some wheels and some special like shift knobs and whatnot. But in Europe, it's a much bigger operation.
I thought so because I saw this was a totally tricked out SUV, and it had no AMG symbols on it at all.
Yeah, they're more of a third-party supplier. So AMG is our in-house tuning shop. Brabus is one of many companies that works on our products in the aftermarket. So there's Brabus, there's Rentec. There's a lot of companies that do tune Mercedes, but the only in-house tuning company we have is AMG.
Cool.
Just real quick, go ahead. You had another question about it? The Roadster. You want to tell us a little bit about the Roadster?
So that's a C300 Cabriolet.
Okay.
The C-Class is our, let's say, mid-size sedan. Generally, we also have a coupe, and we also have a Cabriolet version of it. That's the Cabriolet on the stage.
That's four-door?
Five passenger.
It's a two-door. It's a
Two-door,
two-door.
yeah, okay.
Four-passenger.
Four passengers, right.
It's got a four-cylinder engine. It's sporty. It's reasonably affordable, and it's just a great little car.
Reasonably affordable. So what's the price about?
We haven't announced for the 2019 model year, but
Okay.
2018 is
Yeah, probably around 50,000 or so is an
Okay.
estimate to work with.
That's modest.
And what's your smaller for this year? What's your smaller Roadster? Which one? What model was that?
we have, there's the SLC, which is our smallest roadster. We don't have one at the show today. We also have an SL, which is our large roadster. We do have one at the show, the SL 450. So that's a twin turbo V6 engine, 2 seats, folding hardtop. It's really a luxury grand touring car. It's fantastic for road trips.
Yeah, it
super
looks like
comfortable,
one of
super
those
stylish.
comfy, kind of sporty, comfy kind
Absolutely.
of ones where you have a third thing in the back, a dog or a baby.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to. Yeah, it's a 2-seater.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
from here. Okay. Okay.
Depends on how much
That's
you
the one you put the baby
value.
in.
Exactly.
Yeah, that has been a solid part of the lineup for so many years, and you guys are certainly trying to keep it right out in front. I guess that's your flagship, right?
It's one of them. We have several flagships. So we have the G-Class, which is the flagship of our SUV lineup. The SL is the flagship of our luxury grand touring lineup, and then of course we have the AMG GT, which is the flagship in our sports car lineup, and now we have a new flagship for our AMG lineup, which is the AMG GT 4-door.
I'm curious to know. I know that seems like you guys are picking up market share by doing something other people are following, and that's finding the price points and building a car to match the audience. I see that being a trend. Do you see the same thing happening out there?
Yeah, I think we've filled pretty much every niche in the marketplace at this point. So if there's a demand for a product and we see a need for it and we see the ability to put something out on the marketplace that's competitive, well, we've done that fairly aggressively in recent years.
Yeah.
We were over at Jaguar, and they seem to be following in your footsteps, but in a different way, of course. But you guys have tremendous capacity, so I guess that's what's driving the volume. I mean, you got a lot of cars out here, and of course, every car has to do its own numbers. Otherwise, it's going to be retooled, discontinued, or moved on.
Sure.
Real quick before we go, the electric vehicles. How does do you have hybrids, or do you have full electric cars, or how does the electric work on the cars that you have?
Yeah,
on
so we
here for
actually
you?
have both at
Yeah.
the show. So we have a smart electric drive, which is right behind you, that cute convertible two-seater. So that is all electric, and we have several plug-in hybrids. We have a GLC, which is our mid-size SUV plug-in.
So the Smart is like a different kind of a car, though.
Yeah, so that we say is, perfect for urban driving. Obviously, it's a two-seater. It is a convertible, but all electric. So
Looks like it's been improved over the last few years. A little bit bulkier, a little sturdier. It looks like.
so it has wider wheelbase,
Yeah.
makes it for more dynamic
tip over.
handling. Exactly, yeah.
I mean, you can use any kind of voltage.
There's
Yep.
fast charge and there's traditional wall outlets.
Well, I mean, I guess it's
Exactly.
the traditional wall outlet that a lot
Yep.
of them are going towards
It
now.
just charges a little bit slower
Yeah,
because
right. Takes
it's
a
not
few years.
like if you have a fast charge, you can have a DC charging, which is a lot quicker, and then you could have instead of an outlet, you have the larger plug that you see kind of on a washing machine or something of the sort.
But
it
the
charges
fast
twice as
charge,
quickly.
I guess they want to put them like gas stations at some point, so they can
Yeah,
try
sure.
to
It's at
move
gas
towards,
stations, it's at grocery stores. They're
right.
they're in places that you tend to go normally. Maybe a gas station's not the best example because you usually don't hang out at a gas station for 20, 30 minutes. But if you're
Right.
going
You
grocery
need a little
shopping
bit
and
of
you can
time,
plug your
right.
car in, it's something that you can leave it, come back, do a
What
chore.
about the
come back
battery?
and
Any of
charge.
them do battery changing like some of the other experimental vehicles?
No.
Okay, quick question here. What are we talking about price-wise on the Smart?
So the Smart for 2 electric drive Cabrio starts at just over 28, but that's before federal and state incentives. So you can qualify for a lot of money off, but you can get an electric convertible starting around 28 grand.
What part of the car does the electrical control on those different models? Is it? I mean, you don't have a full electric car with battery. I mean,
So that one
apart
is
from the
fully
Smart.
electric.
I mean, apart from the Smart.
Yeah, at this time, that is the full electric car we have on the show floor. Like I mentioned, everything else is
So the
plug-in
other
hybrid.
So they go at the lower speeds and at the
You
things
can
like
run
that.
a full electric for up to about 13 miles for most of our plug-in
Full
hybrids.
electric for 13 miles.
Roughly, yeah. It
Okay.
depends on driving conditions, temperature, use of air conditioning, hills, etc.
Okay. And the rest of the electrical system in the cars run off the combination or run off the battery?
So it depends. It works off the battery. There's a 1 kilowatt hour battery in most of the vehicles. That's what gets you electric range, let's say. And there's also a traditional 12-volt battery that would power interior electronics, lights, gauge cluster, all that stuff.
Okay.
Now I'm curious. Only a few cars in the show have a solar paneled roof. Has solar panel roofs ever come onto the model lineup for Mercedes?
No, you just don't develop enough power. It's not realistic. So I know there is another car on the show floor from another manufacturer, and they use that to power interior LED light.
They do
it's cost
interior
prohibitive.
stuff and radio and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I gotta catch on.
Air
In my
conditioning.
personal opinion, I would say no.
Any final words on what you expect tomorrow when the deluge of car buyers comes through the door? Is anything? Which cars do you think they're going to gravitate to on the floor here?
I mean, definitely this 4-door coupe in the center of the stage here, because that is all new, something totally different we haven't done before. And I think the G63 is going to be quite popular. You can't see it from where we're standing, but it's that boxy SUV around the corner. That is always a crowd pleaser. So.
All right.
My box not too bad either.
Yeah,
The My
very
box
true.
kind of front and center in our stand. It's.
Do
people
you
always love
have
seeing
some new? Is this a new version of that?
It's been facelifted, so it has a different grille, different headlights, and then different interior options, different color options. So it's a year-over-year model refresh, but it's a fairly comprehensive.
Who does the audio system for?
So we have Burmester sound system in our Maybach,
Oh,
but
okay.
across our lineup we have either Harman Kardon, Burmester, or Bang & Olufsen. It depends on what model, what package, what size vehicle.
Yeah,
it is.
actually, I talked to a guy that sells the Burmeister. I didn't get to talk to the Burmeister people when I did the New York Auto Show. That's a very high-end system.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
silver electronics, and it's not that popular in the United States. It's kind of hard to find.
It's a
but
super premium brand. So
yeah,
it's,
I know. It's
yeah.
it's super expensive. They don't have any cheap stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, and so that's in the okay. Well, that makes
Yeah, yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That's a top of your car. That's your top of the line too.
No, and I'm curious because that car doesn't have a tremendously large production line. So what is Mercedes really doing with that car?
It's actually built at our largest factory in the world, so we could build as many as we need to, but it's a super exclusive ultimate luxury vehicle, so we could build as many as we have ordered, quite frankly.
But you're producing less than 500, right?
I can't speak for global numbers, but it's an S-Class. We build thousands of S-Classes every year for the U.S. market, and this is just the highest end, top of the line S-Class you could buy.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful car.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for all your time. I know it's serious.
Enjoy the show.
You've been listening to the UnCommonCore podcast with Thomas Howell. I'm Satoko Smith. Thank you for listening.